Now let's get to the latest in Washington. It's a big day as the president gets ready to sign the $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Ahead of its passage, the EV charging companies have been on a tear, and Blink is one of the biggest gainers. Blink charging up today and up about 30% so far for the month of September, as you can see right here. Investors are optimistic about the $7.5 billion in the new bill for a nationwide build-out of EV chargers. There you can see the number. The Department of Energy says we have more than 100,000 charging stations, but the goal is to have more than 500,000 by 2030. With me now, Michael Farkas, the CEO of Blink Charging, and a first on CNBC interview. Mike, it's good to see you again. Welcome.
Thank you for having me again.
So I guess to me, $7.5 billion doesn't sound like a lot of money for a build out of EV chargers, but there's so many companies that are willing to put private capital to work here. So how much will the government funds help kind of pop the number? How high do you think it's going to go?
It will definitely help. I don't know if it'll get us to the 500,000 number that the administration is looking for. But without a question, it'll really give some wind at the back of this space.
What is Blink's personal goal in terms of charging expansion?
To own as many charging stations that we possibly can. Our business is quite different than some of our competitors. We actually own and operate a lot of the equipment that we deploy. Some of our competitors just sell hardware or provide networking services. We believe in the long term of this business, and we want to make recurring revenues off of the sale of the fuel.
Yeah, we're going to speak with the CEO of Siemens USA in just a moment. They also have big goals to deploy charging technology. You mentioned some of the competitors, names like ChargePoint, maybe do a little bit different business. Why are you committed to doing sort of this approach to the rollout of EV charging stations in the U.S.?
As with all hardware and with most services, they become commoditized after a while. We believe that this is about a land grab, making sure that we have the locations that we have under long-term contracts that are exclusive where we provide EV charging services. It's a very broad term. When we sign an agreement with a property owner, we have the exclusive rights to provide EV charging services at those locations. So whether it's a scooter, an e-bike, an e-motorcycle, a Rivian or a Tesla that you're going to drive in, or even in the future when you're going to be flying in on electrically powered drones, we have the exclusive rights to provide EV charging services at the entire location. It's not about a parking spot that's at that location. It's about the entire address. Our competitors have a little bit of a different approach. They want to sell a piece of equipment, get instant gratification. We realize it's about investing our dollars today, controlling those locations, and as utilization increases, we have the rights to go in there and add additional units.